Hello and welcome to another Demis Hellen tutorial. We're going to make a mid bass today in Hive, and we're going to use the two oscillators here. So we're going to initialize the preset and we're going to draw in a bass line, and we're going to draw in a typical rolling trance, 3 notes. There we are. And we'll just have 2 bars of those. There is a melody above, but we're just going to concentrate on the mid bass, and let's do some sound design just so you can see how Hive's engines work, especially if you haven't bought this already. You get a good idea. So we're going to choose wavetable from both of these oscillators. So we both have them on sine, and we can only hear oscillator 1 at the moment as it's only routed through to filter 1. I can turn on there oscillator 2 to come through, but I don't want it to come through. So what we have at the moment is 1 sine wave. All right, and what we're going to do is I'm going to start on the complex, and I'm going to start with this Alien Lives. So it sounds okay, but the best thing to do is just like kind of filter through. To find something that is in the region of what you want. Sometimes you know what the sound should sound like, other times you just don't. Okay, so we're just going to have it rolling here. Let's just down here. Let's just close that a second. Just going to put a kick drum on there as well. Okay, so I'm not liking the sound. It's got a little bit too much top end on it. So we're just going to go through to the second one in this one, which is Bit Crush Sweep. That sounds quite nice for a low sub bass, but we're not doing sub basses. Okay, I'm thinking this sounds okay. What I'm going to do is turn the cutoff down. Mod up. I'm just going to shape the mod envelope. It's going to be fairly short on the amp as well, so when it filters back in, it's not going to be too much longer than what it is in the cutoff stage. So let's tailor it so it's fully shut. And then fully open. Something like that. Alright, so we have the first sound. It sounds okay, so let's bring in oscillator 2, and you'll hear it come in as a sine wave. So there's a little bit of low end. Sounds nice, but we're focusing on making a mid bass. So we're going to choose wavetable 2 and complex, and let's pick one from near the bottom. So let's have Rough City. See, that sounds pretty good in place actually. Too much in the lower mids. Sounds quite nice just off. So there's plenty of more options here. We can automate things. We could change the position of automation, and there's all different things. But we're just focusing on what these wavetables sound like and how they can be manipulated to make the sound exactly how you want it, or make it fit perfectly with something. So back to this. So we're going to use the effects. I'm going to use distortion here. And you can use the tone to control where that distortion is placed. So about there sounds okay. You don't want too much top end on there, especially on the mids. And then you can do this out of the box. You don't have to do this within. I feel that Hive 2's delay and reverb section is not too strong, and their phase section here where you can switch it to flanged, I just don't think it's quite strong enough. Not for me personally, but it's not to say you can't use them. But let's just add a bit of delay in just so you can hear what that would sound like. And then what we can do here is we can concentrate it even more into the mids. We can give it more of an aggressive sound. Or we can lay it back a little bit with the mids, and I'm liking the laid back sound. And then just remove some of the bass detail, so you've just got a mid. That way you don't have too much sound just clogging up the lower end. Hence it's a mid bass, and straight away we've created our first mid bass. So what I'm going to do now is create a second instance of Hive. I'll put this at 130 so you can see, and we'll initialize this preset as well. And I'll demonstrate it a second time just using some different sounds just so you can see how it works. So let's have different preset on this one. Different preset, a different rhythm. Okay, so we're going to switch this to wavetable, and this one to wavetable, and let's pick chaos. So you can see there's positions in the wavetable that sound a little bit more mid-range. There, definitely. It's probably the upper mids, but let's go for it. And again, I'm going to use the filter to control the sound. Yeah. So we want something a little bit short and stabby, because I feel that this is taking priority. And straight away this is sounding pretty good, even though we've done minimal additions to it. So I'm going to bring in oscillator 2, wavetable 2 here, and let's pick one more out of this section. I'm only using this one section just so you can see. You can have a go at using them all, but I'm just going to use this because it's one of my favourite bits. Let's use electrify. See, perfect, straight away. So I'm just liking its original position there. It's got a little bit of a spiky transient to that. Okay, sounding okay there. And what we can do here is we can loop it. We can one-shot it, and the position will determine basically how far that goes. Using the tempo, sorry, not the position. So you can do some minimal editing, you can do more drastic. Okay, so if we now just add a little bit of the distortion from here, use soft clip again, focus it a little bit more higher, so because what have I done there? So on the first one we focused, if you look at Hive here, we focused the tone a little bit down, we've cut some of the mids out and just cut some of the highs. So let's have this a little bit higher up in the mix. So it's a bit higher there. Just cut some of the highs out again, and we can actually boost the mids. Cut the bass out, and again add some delay. So again, you can use the external delays, whatever you want. This is just a demonstration, just to keep everything simple and in the box. So we've created 2 here, so let's have a listen to them together. Okay, so I'm feeling this one's a bit too long, so let's just tailor it in context and just shorten it down. There we are, so it's not as long. The notes are a lot snappier. And then what we can do here is if we use one of these shapers and attach it to the highs, so you can see it's routed on the matrix, the shape sequence A to gain high. Click on this one, and you can hear how it's accentuating the transient now. So what effectively we're doing is we're LFOing this in this shape to hit, go back to the effects, so it's actually boosting the highs here. So if temporarily at the start of it, it's boosting it and then it's back to normal. So let's set this to 1 shot. We can have the speed a bit quicker, single. So you can hear the difference there, that's just hitting normally. And that's adding a bit of a spike. So let's have a listen to them together. So you can hear the difference it's making. And then just on the mixer, bring that one down to the different level. And there you go. So we've just created 2 mid basses in Hive using just only the wavetables. I just wanted to demonstrate really the power of the wavetables. So what I'll do, these will be available on Patreon to download. So if you can, head over to Patreon and you can get these presets over there. Also, there are some other content on there, and you can get the previous month's content as well, which is a load of plugins and MIDI files on there. So, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, let me know down below, and let me know if you're using Hive 2. Are you using the wavetables, and did you like these sounds? Because I think they sound pretty good in context with each other. With a melody, I'd have to see what it'd sound like with the sub bass and everything in there. And finally, subscribe and hit the bell icon if you haven't already. That'll let you know first when I upload at least 2 videos per week minimum, and it's on a variety of topics. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.